Hello, I'm Sissi Zhen and I'm the costume designer for Ellis Theatre Guild's student production of Clue on Stage.
From our first production meeting, the director wanted me to recreate the characters as if they jumped straight out of the board game, which has 6 color-coded characters. So I decided that the costume pieces would all be very bright to really have that pop and detached from the real world. At the same time, I still wanted the costumes to be historically accurate for the 1950s when the plot takes place. From June to August, I brainstormed, researched, and worked on the costume Bible for concepts. I watched the movie the show is based on, and I read the script. From that, I took character notes and elements to the costumes for storytelling. For example, I envisioned that Professor Plum would have tweeds somewhere in his costume, and Mrs. White would have black lace to really highlight her character as a widow. I had a very good idea of how each character would be dressed by the end of this process. By September, I got to school, and I communicated with our faculty costume designer, Bobby Goodrich, to pull pieces from our existing costume stock. About 60% of the final costume looks consisted of pieces that were already in stock, and the rest I found and purchased through Amazon. Since many of the brightly colored fabrics are plain, I added some more elements and textures to make sure there's variability by using the rule of 3, never giving more than 3 characters the same feature, such as glasses, blazers, etc. After I had all these base pieces, I started to add more details. My signature piece, for example, is Mrs. Peacock's dress. First, I purchased this royal blue mid-length dress from Amazon. Then I decided that she'll have rhinestones and feathers, especially peacock feathers. So I purchased a white rhinestone and pearl applique for her belt, then planned out how to add several more rhinestones to fit her blue color scheme. I used rhinestone glue to secure these rhinestone pieces, then hand-sewed the applique onto the belt that came with the dress. Then, I added blue and black feathers around the collar and pinned a rhinestone brooch in the center, to which I also glued color scheme rhinestones. Finally, underneath the brooch, I hot glued some peacock feathers, which we had saged to avoid the curse of evil eye believed religiously by thespians. My work is mostly done by this point, and I did check-ins with the actors for any minor fixes. Most of them were sizing fixes, the clothes were too big for them, which I sewed by either using safety pins or sewing to fit. And here are the final looks for our performance at the end of October.